Good evening. It's not good morning right now. It's about 10:15 on Saturday night. But I knew I had to get things done, but I had to get the kids bath, get the goats milked, get the cows fed, get the chickens plucked. Now I got Mom her medicine and got her a movie, and she's laying in her big old antique bed watching a movie. So if you hear in the background a movie or a TV, then it's Mama watching TV. So I thought we better get these done because we've got to core these, cut them, whatever we're going to use, coat them in salt, and then we leave them overnight. So I got this little thing a long while ago, and it's coarse tomatoes, but I'm not so sure that it's very good. We're going to try it. I'm not so sure that I like that because I'm not used to it. If I'm not used to something, I'm just not real happy with it. That does okay, I guess, but not my favorite thing. I washed these and not my favorite deal there. I think it would take longer for me to figure out how to use this thing than just coring it myself. Or that'll take till Jesus comes. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I'm just going to cut that top off because I'm not going to sit here and core those like some darn apples. I'm just not going to do it. See how much easier that was? Cut your little thing off here at the bottom. It's not like we're going to be in a chef contest. It's going to be so much easier, and y'all know I'm tired anyway. So we're going to just do this the best. These are getting red, but they're still green to me. They're still good enough. They'll be fine in there. deal. I'll cut more of that bad places off of them as I go. We need about 8 pounds of tomatoes, but once I put everything in the jars that I'm going to use, I'm not just doing tomatoes. I've decided I'm going to put the whole house in there. I want to do a medley of stuff. Try it. Y'all keep saying you want me to fry some. Well, you can watch Brilliant again. I'm not doing that because I don't want to do it. I like all that, but I've got more things that I really need to get done, like making our tomato pickles instead of frying green tomatoes. Gonna go over and see Brenda's way of doing it. That's so bad, I'm not even gonna attempt it. Now that was the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt that. If something doesn't, let me get this off my cabinet. If something doesn't look right to me, I do not use it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So, there's that. I was on the phone with Granny Pat earlier. She had some troubles. So, of course, see them old beetles have got these. And I'm not going to mess with none's okay there. I don't want to mess with something that I don't like. So, we're going to do this. Let me check these out now. I'm going to go ahead and just cut these like I had planned to, because I don't like something that's not formed. Looks unformed. You know what I'm saying. Doesn't look right. So, I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut them again. About like that, see. Put them in your bowl. I've got to sit down. I brought my little old, I pulled my little old chair out from the wall so I could sit down here. Y'all can fast forward if you want to. I'm just going to sit here and do this because I've got tomato juice on my hands and I don't want to get it on my phone. So y'all just have to listen to me. And I wish I could hear what you're saying, but I can't. One day that'll be probably something like that. This shouldn't take too long, but I want y'all to get in so you know what's going on and get it all in there. Let's just kind of cut these however we want to, because it doesn't matter. Once we get these in our jars, they'll be good. They'll be so good. I don't know if any of y'all ever had, as they call them, tomato pickles. Well, they're really good. Now, on these tomatoes, you have to be more careful than normal. Even I do when I'm cutting, because they get slick because of the seed gelatinous stuff out of them seeds, and you'll slice your hand real quick. I see a few that I should have cut in two, so I'm going back and doing it now. And I'll do it after a while. Tomorrow, I'm going to cut it. You don't want those big old hunks. They will settle down a little bit, but not a whole lot. Yeah, we got Granny Pat's little problem figured out, and got her video figured out, and then I think we got one of the wrong videos. It's so hard to help when you're 500,000 miles away, you know. Plus, I'm not used to her iPad. I'm used to my stuff, so it's difficult. Today she said, "Oh, I hope you don't give up on me." I said, "I'm not going to give up on you." I said, "I'm used to dealing with a 92-year-old. An 88-year-old is a breath of fresh air." We both died laughing. Just literally died laughing. The mother is no trouble, y'all. She really, I won't say not ever. I guess she's not ever, because you just learn to love your family and try to help them in any situation. Our mothers did it for us, so why shouldn't we do it for them? That's what I say. People say, "Oh, you're so good for taking care of your mother." I said, well, your mother took care of you. And a lot of them, I want to say, you should be taking care of your mother, because she's down there in that nursing home and you never go see her. They just get them at home, bring them home. Because by the time they go to the nursing home, they won't be around a lot longer. Them nursing homes kill people. They're so overstaffed, just like when Mother got the UTI. They're so overstaffed, they don't do like the old days in the care facilities. Check the BP, check everything before they hand out that medicine, you know. Now see, there's a, right there, you gotta cut that middle out. If you don't, it'll be hard. That's the first one I've seen like that. But yeah, they need to check their blood pressure. It should be a standing order from all doctors. You just need to check that blood pressure before any medication is given. Because my mother, like I've told y'all, the ones of you that was around me when that all was taking place, doctor said if Billy hadn't withheld your blood pressure medicine that whole weekend, you wouldn't been here on Monday. You just went to sleep, because her blood pressure was about 90/40, 60/40. I knew I had to do something. I didn't know what, but I knew I had to do something. And she wouldn't go to the, she would not go in an ambulance. She wouldn't concede. She wouldn't help me. Her mind was just about gone because she was so infected with that UTI. And to this day, I monitor her medicine 3 times a day, blood pressure, sometimes 4 times a day. Because, you know, when you get older, even at my age, you have to watch that medicine. They can overdo it. Let me put this in the sink. I don't want to get that all over the floor. I'll rinse it off. We've still got some things to cut up. Got a few things to cut up. I'm going to put some of this red pepper in it. Now we've got our peppercorn, but the peppercorn is probably too short to do these. And we'll use it on our jalapeno. Those would be, I may save these seeds, y'all. Those would make some good, this will make some good. I'm going to save one deal right over here in my little Francoma thing. Let them dry, and that'll be some seeds I won't have to buy. And I love these long peppers. When I was a kid, I'll tell y'all something. Get a ring. When I was a kid, we'd take these and put them on our mouth. Looked like an old tongue coming out of our mouth. Because they're not hot, they're just like a banana pepper. But oh, we had the best time playing in the garden. We would do crazy stuff like that. Like I said in an interview a long time ago, I just didn't have nobody to play with. I played with dirt and June bugs and frogs. Now we're going to cut these a little bit. I probably had some more today, but I just hadn't had a chance to go out there, and I'm not going to do it now. So that's just tough. Look. That's a lot of disposal. Let me get our little peppercorn. I hope y'all are enjoying the ones that y'all told me that you got, because they really work. I love these little things. They sure help me. I put them on several of my pages so you could order them. So I'm going to tell you, that just cleans that stuff just right out of there. Doesn't matter how big or how tiny. It just pulls that right out of it. See there? Then I've got the big one, you know, that comes with it. It's a set, kind of the big bell pepper one. Just cleans it out. It's really good when I'm stuffing these with cream cheese, you know, around the holidays or any time. I don't have dinner parties anymore. No sense in. Occasionally I'll take something to church or a chamber of commerce, something, not usually chamber, but just something, I don't know exactly. I don't do much anything anymore like that. Now these are our little cucumbers. Let's just set those. I'm going to make a medley of these things. It's all the same pickling, but I'm just going to prep them all while I'm doing it. Y'all will be surprised in a minute when I show you what else I'm going to put in there. We're going to try it. I've never tried it, but by gosh, I'm going to. Y'all, like I told you on that video today, I like trying new stuff. Y'all see me cook and all that, and I'm glad you enjoy it. But I like doing special, crazy, not crazy, but unique things. So I don't get too bored. Okay, now, we've got those, so I'm going to cut them a long way, about like that, just so we can put these in there. It'll be a beautiful, I think, coloration in these jars. I'm going to put them in quart, I think, jars. Don't be a messy bit again. Try not to. Okay, we got one more here. Okay. Now I'll put those right there. I may have to get more jars, you know. That's quite a bit of doing. Now on these, just cut them. Might as well just ring them up, because they'll kind of go out their own self. So we just ring them up. When I say that, I mean instead of cutting them in long slivers, we just ring them. That's not taking as long as I told y'all, did you? There's a few seeds there, but that's not going to hurt nothing. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of... I always try to get what I'm going to put in my jars sliced up, chopped up, get it salted down, so it can set for that 24 hours. And then my nose is itching off. I think my allergies is bad today, maybe a little. Alright, now then. Gosh, look at all that stuff over here in our pan. I'll pull it over so y'all can see it. Let me get this mess cleaned up. Because I've still got one more thing. See there? There's our stuff. There's our stuff, y'all. Let me show you now. Okay. think I have. I'm gonna put this. Where's those other ones? Let me see. I forgot I've got all those. Remember I got for $1.99? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the onion out of this so I don't waste it. Because we need onion in here. Okay, we'll use our onions. We've already got enough pepper. We might have enough onion. No, I bet we can use that onion. And that'll save our bell pepper to cook with. Let me move this back. Move this back over here now. Because I've got to do our onion. I love an onion. I heard that organ playing on Mother's on the TV, and I thought she was in there playing the piano or the Victrola or something. Well, what's she doing in there? She's having a party. Okay. Oh, we'll put that around like that. Just like that right there. Now I'm just going to try this because I want to, y'all. What I'm going to do, let me get my, here it is, get my knife. Okay, I'm going to go just right around this watermelon. Rind. I'll put this right here. Just for a minute, try and get that washed. I thought this had a thicker rind on it. Now there is watermelon jellies and jams that I remember eating as a child. Let me wash these. But I thought, you know, I want to try. I was going to try. Wash them real good. All that stuff off. Get your vegetable cleaner. I bought one of those and I bought it. I use my vegetable scrubber. Get all that out of there. I'll scrub the outside and the inside and on the side and I'd already soaked this in I'd already soaked that in my now I'm going to put this separate. I'm not going to put this in here because I'm going to try the jar just to see how it works. That water, I've got it. Hold on. I've got my water here. The reason I think this will work very well with just the rind is because the rind, it's got all the vitamins that you need, plus the rind is just the same that I've learned as cucumber. So if cucumbers make pickles, then why can't we use watermelon rind that's got a lot more iron and everything imaginable we need? Let me get a bowl here. Get our old Homer Laughlin's. That'll be a pretty good, just one jar. I just want to see what we do and see how it works. Okay, let me get Homer out of the way. Probably have to have a bigger bowl. We're gonna have a bigger bowl. I'm always saying that. We might come up with some new fandangle delicious invention. Oh, I think this has probably been done before. I just never have done it. I never even Googled it. I don't know. But we're going to try it. You know, canning was a staple and freezing things when I was a kid. But canning was a staple for my mother and them during the wars. If it hadn't been for that, I imagine a lot of people that had not gotten ready. The way this world's going, we may have to eat like this again one day. So we better learn what we can, because you remember during the pandemic how that food was scarce. Them shelves were being taken off. Those everything's being took off the shelves, and boy, it's a big mess. But you know, I had bought. I'll tell you, before the pandemic, I had bought, because I had kind of worried about the countries, the world, before the pandemic. So I had ordered off of Amazon. Let me wash it. The juice is going to go everywhere if I don't. I had ordered for Mother and I some of those, let me see if I've got a can I can show you, in case y'all decide. Let me see, hold on. In one of my pantries I've got several different, like this is scrambled eggs mix. Comes in a can by Augustin Farms. I've got the celery. You can just put it in water and it marinate. It reconstitutes. I've got a soup mix that is absolutely wonderful. It has dried cabbage and peas and stuff like that. But I got it all off of Amazon. It's about $15 to $18 a deal. But I bought each different little thing. Some scalloped potatoes that are freeze dried. Because I thought, you know, Mother and I are not going to starve. And we don't have our big garden. We don't have our cannon. Till we can get our land and get that back going, we've got to do something to make sure that we're okay. So I was glad I did it, because during the pandemic, when I couldn't get eggs, I had eggs. When I couldn't get milk, I had milk. When I couldn't get potatoes, I reconstituted and made potatoes. So it's a good idea to just keep stuff going, just in case. Okay, so we got this done, and we got this done. So now we're gonna have to. I'm burning up. Took a lot to get that going, didn't it? So okay, our recipe says we gotta combine our vinegar and stuff. Okay, let me see what it says about us cutting our. Place the tomatoes in the mixing bowl. Liberally sprinkle, liberally, I can't even say it, liberally. That's not it. See, if you don't have them in your mouth, you can't speak correctly. Sprinkle them with cannon salt and stir them to coat. So, it doesn't tell how much. So it would be just to coat. I didn't buy cannon salt because I've got kosher salt. So I got a new deal of kosher salt. The reason they say cannon salt is because a lot of this, let's see what this has in it. I'm just seeing if this has salt, yellow prussic of soda, which is an anti-caking agent. Now, I am not. Let me see what this one says. Potassium iodine. Well, if they're cloudy because I don't have cannon salt. And why you want that? You don't want your jars of stuff to be cloudy. And a lot of times that anti-caking agents, like I just read that's in this, they were out of cannon salt, and so we'll just have to do it. And if it's cloudy, nobody's gonna know it but Mom and I. So I need to get this salted, get this watermelon. Go ahead and salt. That brings all the, just literally. You just want to coat your stuff. That draws out flavor and moisture, and and I'm pretty sure it'll do the same thing with the watermelon that it did with that there. Okay, I'm gonna cut y'all off a second and get my big. I use my cake taker top. Trying to get that salt out there. I use my cake taker. So I'm just going to pour so much of that in there. Salt. Just salt it. Make sure that it's coated. Okay, we've got that salted. We got that in there, and then we'll salt this. You're going to rinse all that salt off as much as you can. So you want it good though. So okay, that's probably enough of our. There'll be a lot of liquid in that tomorrow. Now to get that, I'm gonna put it back into my bowl because I've got to put it in one of the refrigerators. So there's no sense in. I don't have the big industrial refrigerator. It's here, so we'll just have to use that. Okay, now we've got that salted, and we've got our watermelons salted, and let me see here. Oh, that's draining. get my mess cleaned up a little bit. So now it says that we could do our brine to boil tonight, or you can do it in the morning. So I think I'm so tired I'll try to get up and get it done in the morning. I'll be back. Morning again. This is Sunday morning. And I told y'all that I was going to make this brine to go over our tomatoes, which we've let set overnight. So we will check those. I covered them up and put tin foil. So now we've got the tin foil off. Smells delicious. See now, look at all that. Remember I told y'all that would make all that water. Look how much water that salt has done to those vegetables. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to rinse the vegetables. We'll get our brine. Let's just go ahead and get our brine started. I think that this will be enough of now I went to the store. Y'all saw my salt gets everywhere. I went to the store and I bought that vinegar. Well, I got it home, the one that I spilt all over the stove that y'all saw. Well, that vinegar is not, I'll show you. This vinegar, you have to look on here, and it says 4%. This is 4% vinegar. Okay. Now, for any canning, you need the vinegar that's 5% acidity, because you don't want to get botulism or something. So, I went ahead and bought another jug of vinegar, because I did not want to chance anything. So we're going to put 8 cups. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good measure, just a good measure, as they say. So we'd probably have about 8 more cups in there, and I'm trying to decide. I think with the jars, we'll have, this will be enough vinegar for right now. So to that, let me turn that on. To that, I'm going to get me some cinnamon sticks. And it says we need 2 cinnamon sticks. So we'll get our little bird cinnamon stick jar. Drop those in there. I like that one. Well, no, that one. Put our little cinnamon stick. Oh, cinnamon stick lid back on. Okay. Better get us some, we gotta have peppercorns and mustard seed. Well, we got mustard seed, y'all know that. How much mustard? We want 1 teaspoon, it says. So we'll get 1 teaspoon, let's scoop that pan over. 1 teaspoon of mustard seed. Y'all have faith today is a mustard seed. I do. I do. Now let me get some peppercorns out of this supposedly rainbow peppercorn. I've got some up here. Let's see about that. Let's get the lid off of this. Let me get the lid off and I'll be right back. Okay, we need 3 tablespoons of peppercorns. We're going to use this. Now since that's got red pepper in it, I'm not going to put no I've got some coriander seed. Just put a little bit, let's put a teaspoon of coriander seed in there. Now we'll let that get to going. And stir that. We want to get that. Got to bring that to boil, and then we'll reduce it and simmer it for about 4 minutes. Be back. We want to bring this to a boil, you know. We just have to let that go. I'll be back. Okay, we got that brine to boiling, so now we're going to reduce our heat and let that simmer for about 4 minutes. Now I've took my vegetables and now that's our first big batch. See, this is our watermelon, so it's drained too, so let's rinse that. You have to rinse that salt off pretty good, y'all. You don't want your stuff too salty, and that vinegar's got enough salt in it. This is a trial recipe. We're going to see. Okay. There's our watermelon rind. There's a little yellow piece. Kind of go through there just to see. I think that'll be fine. Okay. So let that simmer. And then I'll be right back. Got my brine down. Now I'm going to get those and then get those that. That'll get our stuff out there. Let me pitch this in the, because you've done all you can do with that you want. I'm going to put that in a piece of tin foil so that I can, I'm going to rinse this pan out because we're going to reuse it. I didn't want to get my big cannon pots out, so I decided I am going to most of that. I'm going to do most of that in this little cannon. I have the big one like this, but the little cannon pot. That's what we'll process our liquids in. So now we want to put that back in there. And then we want to put, let me get some water. Get some hot water. It says the exact same amount of liquid as you have here. Let's turn it on. I'm going to put 1.5 cups, 2 cups. Let's see what that looks like. While that's reheating, while that is reheating, I'm going to add some hot water out of my dispenser. To this pan, and I've rinsed the jars. So now I want to make sure there's no. I usually boil them. I want to make sure there's no bacteria or anything. So probably we can do. Let's see, I'm not sure how much I've got my hands clean now. Then I gotta pack this. Now you want to pack this into your jars. Since ours is a mishmash, we'll see how many jars we need. And poke it down in there. Get you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Oh, see there? And we'll go to the next one. And this is my own creation. But we're going to try it. And that's what we need to do, is try it and learn. Even if you just set it on the shelf, it's pretty. That'd be good. Okay. Now, I'm going to do messy mess, Bill. Billy Jean, you're such a messer. Now, I'm going to do 2 jars of this with our watermelon. Just because I want to know. I just want to know. So we're going to... Billy Jean's a messy mess. See, that watermelon's down in there now. Let me get one more. Well, it might take 2. Might take two jars. Okay. Like an assembly line, I need y'all here to help me. I'm going to do more. A little pepper in there. Mash that down. Well, that's mash that down. Let me get one more. Get one more jar. And then I'll get over here and get that done. Let me get this to boil in here. And I'll just go ahead and mix that in with that because that'll probably fit in that jar. We're going to try to make sure it does. I think it will. Now we'll add a little more there. We'll add a little more there. Other jar. Once we poke these down, I think they'll be fine. So we got 5 jars. Let's get that big bowl out of the way. Okay. Look here and see what we've got. So we've got 3 with the watermelon in there, and 2 that's just a plain. Now then, let me kind of wipe. Look at this nasty bitty jean. Let me get this cleaned up. I'll be right back. Okay, now we're gonna have to use us some garlic because I put oh, I don't want a whole bunch in there, but I want some garlic. You can buy that minced garlic, it'll be just fine. If you want to do it that way, do it however you want to. This is just a little more messy, but it works. I always get me a little bowl. Get me a little bowl to put my stuff in with a piece of tin foil. And that's a pretty big piece there. I just crack those. Crack that garlic. I've got a garlic press in there. But with this you don't have to. You don't need the garlic press because this will peel right off there. Now, let me turn that brine off. We got it up to a boil, that's all we needed. So we'll put fresh clove in each jar. Get that off of there. I don't like wasting none of that. Not one iota. That'll just make it better. I'll just make it better. Better. Let me see. Let's put you. Okay, I got that garlic put in each one of those jars. Now, Billy Jean's got to clean up this little bit of mess. It's not too bad. Well, no, it's not as bad as some things he does. Boy, sometimes I wonder about it. I'm not so sure he don't need to be in the loony bin. He's so crazy sometimes. But he does the best he can. Okay, there's our. Those all look pretty good, and that's got garlic in. I'm just checking to make sure there's some garlic in them. Okay, now I'm gonna get that ladle and I'm gonna ladle that into this hot brine into each jar. And if I have to make more brine, I will. They say get a bubble wand, which means something that you can, this is my bubble wand. This is Billy Jean's bubble wand. You just kind of make sure that the bubbles are out of those vegetables. So you just punch them down to make sure there's liquid in between, all that. You can go all the way to the bottom. Now you couldn't do that after they set because it'd be mushy. But for right now, they're still pretty. You want to get that all the way down to the bottom of them. I go on the outside and once nearly in the middle. See, that compacts that liquid, and you need to add more liquid now because you. So now we'll fill the head space on up with that. Better to use it all instead of waste any of it. You don't want to go plumb the top. That's not what I mean. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now then, we will take our lids, with a piece of garlic paper on there, push that down. First of all, though, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to make sure. I'm going to take me some white vinegar on this linen paper. Well, that's okay. You can clean your stove while you're doing it. Wasn't dirty. But that little bit of just go around the edge of your jars with that vinegar wash, so that can get any kind of bacteria or whatsoever. You'll kill it with that vinegar. Plus, you know you've done right by getting that clean and sealed. See, there's nothing on it. It's just microscopically. You want to make sure everything is clean and all that. I even kind of wipe around my jar lid so that I know that all any kind of grease I'll do 3 at a time. Okay. Now you want to put that on the jar. Put that on down. Oh shoot. Bit again to mess it up. Okay, I'll just set that there. Let me rewipe that one. Get that on. Like that. Like that. We'll tighten those. We'll tighten those here in a minute. I'm just trying to get them done so that we don't. Now, like I told y'all, that kosher salt it still might make our stuff cloudy because I didn't use pickling salt, and that's one reason you buy the pickling salt, because it doesn't have an anti-caking agent in it. That's the only difference in regular salt or the iodine. Even if you use salt without iodine, it's usually still got a caking agent in it. Clean. So we've got 5 jars. Okay. Now then, I'll get that to going. And we know that these jars will fit down in that, because that's what it's made for. Because you have to have that water up over those lids. Okay, we got that much now. Okay, I got the jars in the canning bath. Going to put our lid on, let that process for about 15 minutes. That means get it to a good boil, and then let it boil. And then we'll be back. Okay, y'all, can you believe that our grandmothers used these as canning jars and had a red ring around it? And that's what the ball canning jar was. What? And then we had the mason, the ball and the mason. I still use mine for like keeping. This is Presto Supreme mason jar. I'd like to keep my bay leaves in there. That reminded me, I was going to put some bay leaves in there and I forgot them. Okay, let's check. Okay, that's getting hot, so we'll just let that process for a little bit. I just noticed one of my skillets, so I'm going to get me a little avocado oil, and it's starting to rust after. See that rustiness on there? Just after 2 days of me not using this one. So you got to keep them oiled up. Get your coffee filter. That'll keep your skillets from rusting. Now it's just like new again. Let's check I'll move this so we check it's getting hot, y'all. Still not boiling yet. Well, since I had you, what I do is I just put water in my skillet. This is from where I made pancakes this morning. I didn't videotape it. But I just rinse it out like that. I don't use I do not use one of those big old scrubbers. Now that pan is as clean as, just dry it out. Once you get it dried out, then I'll add a little oil. Same as I did the other one. I'll just add my oil all around. That'll keep it from rusting. So now these skillets are ready for next week. If they get a bunch of stuff on, then you can scrub them with some salt and a little vinegar. But you don't want to get that oil layer off, or you'll have to re-season them, as they say. Okay, let's check our little, it's getting there. Not there yet, y'all. I'm going to have something to drink, so I'm going to have a A&W root beer. Wish y'all was here to have a root beer with me. Just mine. I don't hardly ever drink a root beer, but today we're going to drink a root beer. Don't y'all love a vanilla ice cream with a root beer on it to make a float? Oh, I remember us going to the drugstore. I'll sit down a minute. I'm about to burn up. I should have turned that air up a little more, but it's not too bad. Let me get my little chair over here. I gotta sit down. I remember when I was a little boy, I would go to the drugstore and sit on our little chair and have a root beer float. And my grandmother would take me and she'd tell me all the stories about when they came to town once a week. Then mother would chime in and tell me, well, us kids went to the picture show. There was 3 different ones in that town, and they stayed all day going from one picture to the next for 15 cents, and I think the hamburger at the square was a nickel. And there's a lot of stories that I've written down, and I've got it in. And I think when I keep saying my cookbook, I've just been working on them. But there's one I'm going to work on with the southern foods, and it will have the stories that coincide with what went on at that time. And I'm going to have to get it done because my memory. Granny Pat talks about her memory. Mother talks about her memory. Well, I'm going to talk about my memory. I remember pretty well. But when it's stories, I want to get everything just down pat, as they say. So people can enjoy it from now on, and once they pick up the book and they're transformed into the life that I remember or the family remembers. But today is Sunday and it has stopped storming. It's still muggy now, very muggy. Mother watched her church on the TV, and Billy Jean was in the kitchen making his canning. He was canning. Billy Jean was in the kitchen canning. Mr. Peacock was in the library. Mrs. somebody, whatever that clue game we used to have as a kid. Somebody got murdered or something in that. I remember it. You know, that day I was looking in the closet and I found my... Do y'all remember Dark Shadows? I had a board game that had Barnabas Collins, and I had a casket. And ooh, that game scared me to play it. My sisters would play it with me, and oh, they'd try to scare me. Well, it scared me. I found that the other day. Still got all the pieces to all those board games. I guess I'm going to donate them to the church. I don't know if they even want them. Everything's on the telephones now till I'm not so sure. Got the kitchen kind of cleaned up and got the jars out, and they look nice. They're drying off. The only thing, y'all, that you have to watch for, and I didn't. See, look here. Let's see if we can find the watermelon. There's some watermelon right there. Looks kind of like a pickle, doesn't it? I think I may have left them processing for like 25 minutes instead of 15 minutes. So I think it just, the jars, that's why I hurried up and got them out, because they could blow up. So you just have to be careful and follow the directions as good as you can. Now on this, there is no recipe for the ingredients of the vegetables that I put in here, especially the watermelon. And our green pepper jelly didn't set up real well with that concoction that I put together, but I'm going to tell you what, it's the best hot dog relish, so I'm glad it didn't set up like a jelly, because it's delicious. I'm very happy with that, and I'll be making that for a long time. But I just wanted to tell y'all what's going on. We got all our jars out. Now they have to sit here on this counter and cool in a draft free. You don't want nothing. They have to be 12 to 24 hours. And you can take that ring off and test. But I know these are buckled here. So what I'll do is just put those, after they cool down, I'll put those in the ice box. Keep them there. I'll probably give one to my brother-in-law that's got cancer. He likes stuff like this. And we'll just see what the flavor. But I want the ones that are sealed, let them sit in the pantry for 3 to 4 weeks, because this has to develop. If you open this right now and try to eat that, it wouldn't be a pickle, it would be bitter. So you have to let it pickle itself. But that's our adventure, and I'm not going to make any more videos on pickling right now until I have an overabundance of some kind of vegetable and we want to try something different. I wish y'all was here to eat with us. Thank you. We appreciate you. Have a happy Sunday. Have a happy week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello. I'm back after those jar lids buckled. I went ahead while Granny Pat and I had our live. Before we started, I went ahead and let me get a jar and show you something. Because I don't want y'all to mess up like I did. Wasn't thinking. Now when I say fill your jars and put, let me get a good lid. When I say tighten your lids, you put your, clean with your vinegar like I showed you, put your ring on, and just tighten that down to that. Not a lot, just, you don't tighten it a lot, because if you do, and I was sitting there and I tightened it a little too much, or I cooked it a little, I left it in the canning bath too long because I was helping Mom get her bath, and I think I just left it in too long, or I tightened the lids. You don't want to tighten these lids very tight, just about like that, because it will make them. See how that one's buckled? See that buckling in there? And then of course that won't seal because you've got a buckle. We don't want a buckle. But I thought I'd better just come back. So what I did is I went ahead and took the buckle lids off. Only one here was not buckled. And I'm going to watch it, but it's sucked down. It's sucked down. These have all sucked down. You'll hear them in the middle of the night because you've got to leave these, like I said, about 24 hours. Just let them cool. They go ping, ping, ping. You'll think, what's that going on? Well, it's your jars sucking down, so don't think there's a ghost in the house. But I wanted to come back and just tell y'all that.